Donna says he shouldn't be tried at all. At most, a misdemeanor for carrying the rifle.
Wow.
Jamie?
It's fascinating, Ted. And his attorneys are feeding into this narrative that his behavior was justified in some way. They're dragging politics into this. I think it's a really unfortunate consequence. The young man has already been indoctrinated through whatever means, probably social media and other venues, and now his attorneys are feeding into this at his expense. And we see that, with all due respect, from your viewer, who doesn't have any problem with a 17-year-old taking a rifle across state lines for the purpose of protecting property that doesn't belong to him. It's outrageous, and Mr. Pierce should, I hope he rethinks his strategy.
One of the things that came up today in this extradition hearing, it was fascinating. His attorney, Rittenhouse's attorney, says that he's going to be filing a habeas. Basically, something you usually see in a death case, somebody's, new evidence comes in. He's going to argue that Rittenhouse should be let go because of the evidence that he is supposedly going to provide to an Illinois judge. Very interesting. First of all, should he be doing this in Illinois, Adam? And what's your take on this?
Well, he's going to do whatever he can for his client, but is he going to be successful? No. Two people died. One person was wounded. He did bring this gun across state lines. I don't see how, the issue with habeas corpus is whether you're kind of wrongfully in custody. And here you have multiple fatalities. I don't think it's going to work.
All right, our next comment comes from Bill, and he says he should be tried in the state where the murders occurred, talking about the extradition. Renee, this is just a formality. They can delay it and fight it, but he's going back to Wisconsin, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely going back. He has to be tried. That's where jurisdiction lies, where the crime occurred. So, they can delay it by fighting extradition, but ultimately it will be granted and he will be taken back to the state where the crime occurred.
Lisa Hayes says, I think at 17 it would be accurate, given the charge, for him to be charged as an adult. With that being said, he has an excellent self-defense defense, especially under Wisconsin law. Jamie, was this self-defense? When you look at will jurors think it's self-defense when they see people attacking him, if you will, trying to get his gun during this, melee, just chaotic situation? Was he justified?
No. And Adam spoke to this earlier. Force needs to meet appropriate force. He has to be in the fear of imminent bodily harm and or death. The fact that he brings a loaded gun to this environment and then people attempt to disarm him, I believe the man he shot had a skateboard. I certainly would not equate that as to an equal showing of force. They're certainly going to make that pitch. There may be some mitigating factors there, but when you bring a gun to that sort of situation and it ends up in deadly consequences, you are responsible for that decision. And I didn't see anything that suggested his life was in danger. Maybe they would have roughed him up a little bit, but certainly nothing that rises to the level of having to shoot somebody to death.